And Liam, 3 years after breaking up, I ran into him at the hospital. I was dressed casually, with a big belly, munching on a braised chicken claw I bought outside. He was dressed elegantly, accompanied by his newly engaged fiancée. His gaze fell on my belly, his pupils slightly contracted, and he sneered, "Rachel, without me, you've ended up so miserable. You're not going to say this child is mine, are you?" I frowned slightly. "Are you out of your mind? We broke up 3 years ago." After the prenatal checkup, I was about to ride my electric scooter home when a Maybach blocked my way. The car window rolled down, revealing Liam's face. He looked at me with disdain. "Didn't you look down on me for being poor back then? How come your husband can't even afford a car? Isn't it so inconvenient traveling back and forth like this, sitting on my little electric scooter?" I glanced at the traffic jam around me and rolled my eyes. "Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful stories every day." Now the story begins. Driving would be even more inconvenient. Besides, the hospital is very close to my home. I'm just here for a prenatal checkup, no need to drive. Whether I drive or not is none of your business. Ignoring Liam's expression, I hurried away on my electric scooter. Liam wanted to chase after me by car, but found the road ahead blocked by traffic. With a grim face, he had no choice but to give up. I found it strange that he and Nina would come to a public hospital. I thought after breaking up with him, I would never see him again in this lifetime. He pursued me for 3 months with all his heart, and I was deeply moved, so I agreed to be with him. Yet, out of a twisted sense of humor, he deceived me. Claiming to be a poor boy from the mountains who had lost both his parents, I believed it wholeheartedly and continued to love him just as much. I firmly believed that as long as we worked hard, we would have everything in the future. I lived with him in a rented apartment, ordinary yet warm. He would accompany me to night markets, trying all kinds of snacks, but not long after this peaceful life began, he secretly took out a loan of 100,000 yuan behind my back. When I found out, we had a huge argument. To me at that time, 100,000 yuan was almost an astronomical figure. Liam showed an expression that said I knew it. "Rachel, do you not want me anymore now? I just wanted to use the money to start a business, to ease the burden of our life. I didn't expect to lose it." Seeing his pitiful expression, my heart softened. I had no choice but to take on 2 jobs to pay off this debt. While delivering takeout, I saw Liam dressed sharply, intimately holding on to Nina, the campus belle from our university. He said to his friend beside him, "That fool is still paying off my debts for me." Nina giggled and said, "Liam, don't take it too far. She might actually be sincere about you." "Yeah, I see her working hard delivering takeout during the day and setting up a street stall at night. You should just tell her about your family background," Liam said disdainfully. "I know these poor people best. If I don't test her, how can I know if she's sincere about me?" I picked up the takeout and turned to leave, not realizing when my vision had started to blur. I raised my hand to wipe my face, and the back of my hand came away wet. I was almost late for this delivery. I calmly finished work and returned to my tidy, cramped rented room. Liam was sitting on the sofa watching TV, his tone impatient. "Why do you come back so late every day? You never spend time with me. I'm quitting my job soon. I need to prepare for the graduate entrance exams." Liam scoffed mockingly. "What? Didn't you say you wanted to help pay off my debts? Didn't you promise you'd love me no matter what?" I gazed at him calmly. With an unprecedented scrutiny in my eyes, Liam felt a chill down his spine under my stare. Somehow, he slowly began to speak. "It's fine if you don't return it. I want to tell you something actually. I'm from the Anderson family." I curled a smile and calmly interrupted him. I no longer wanted to know the truth. "Let's break up." Liam froze in place, and within a second, he grew flushed with anger. "Why? Because I'm poor? Are you just like them, only interested in a boyfriend with money?" "Yes, I like those with money. As for someone as poor and worthless as you don't deserve to be with me. Insincere people do not deserve sincerity." Liam unilaterally argued with me for 3 whole days, constantly apologizing and begging for forgiveness. He even slept in the hallway. Since I was the one renting the apartment, I kicked him out. Finally, the young master couldn't take it anymore. He kicked my door frantically, yelling that I was a short-sighted, lowly wretch who would definitely regret it later. From then on, he disappeared from my world. I could only see him in entertainment news. Not long after, Liam and Nina were frequently seen together in various public places. Online gossip about them is increasing, especially when journalists interview them. Nina always shyly says, "You're overthinking it. Liam and I are just childhood friends." Liam stands beside her, looking at her gently and smiling without a word. Their ambiguous attitudes only fuel more public speculation about their relationship. Finally, at an auction, Liam purchased a dazzling jeweled necklace at an astronomical price and gifted it to Nina, confirming their love for all to see. A perfect match, a couple made in heaven, the envy of everyone. I suddenly remembered the most valuable necklace Liam ever gave me, a plastic necklace from a street stall, 3 for 50 yuan. He said guiltily, "When I have money, I'll buy you something better." I was so touched at that time. If only the plastic necklace weren't so fragile, I would wear it every day. It's not that he couldn't afford it, he just thought I wasn't worthy of his kindness. I don't deserve his effort. I can't be bothered to pay attention to Liam and Nina, but their news keeps popping up everywhere. On my phone, on TV, even while walking on the street, I can hear people talking about them. I'm not unaffected. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm truly unworthy of being cherished. No matter how unstable my mindset becomes, I still have to keep living. I can only fill all my time with preparing for the postgraduate entrance exam, so I won't let my mind wander. But I still run into Liam's old friends at the free library. In the past, they pretended to be poor to cover for Liam. Now they surround me with sneers and bitter, cutting remarks. Words like money-worshipping, ambitious but incompetent, and despicable keep pouring from their mouths. I lowered my head and remained silent, because I couldn't afford to provoke them. Perhaps they found it uninteresting since I didn't resist, and soon their attention shifted elsewhere. The following year, I passed the exam, and my mood was better than ever before. I immediately realized that all my resentment and fear were not as valuable as making progress in my studies. I had been working desperately to help Liam pay off his debts, and had saved a lot of money. Even now, I still have some savings left, and the tightly wound string inside me suddenly loosened. Just at this moment, I received a call from my landlord, saying they no longer plan to rent the place to me. Her son needs the apartment to get married. At first, I didn't think much of it, until the landlady hesitantly asked me, "Have you offended someone? You're a young lady, you need to be careful. I can help you find another place." I was taken aback and immediately thought of Liam. "Auntie, is there something wrong with the apartment?" "I don't blame you. This building is an old one, about to be demolished. If the landlady doesn't kick me out, the demolition might not go through." The landlord looked at me with a guilty expression as I moved out. I didn't feel much inside, as I was about to start school soon. Here, I also met someone willing to spend the rest of my life with me. My thoughts straightened out. I opened the curtains, and the sunlight was just right. I carried the flower pot to the balcony to let it bask in the sun. Suddenly, I spotted an unfamiliar Bentley parked downstairs. Almost at the same moment, the car window rolled down, revealing a face I really didn't want to see. Liam got out of the car on his own and smiled at me. I immediately turned around and locked the doors and windows, afraid that he would come to disturb me. If I didn't have a child in my belly, I wouldn't be afraid. Soon, the door was knocked on in a rhythmic pattern. I clutched my phone tightly, continuously sending messages to my husband Justin, telling him about the current situation. Justin instantly replied, "Don't be afraid. I'll send someone over right away." Justin was on a business trip, far across the ocean, unable to return immediately, so he could only arrange for someone else to come, although it would trouble others. I didn't dare to take any chances. I touched my swollen belly, and courage instantly swelled in my heart. Outside the door, Liam shouted hoarsely, "Rachel, open the door." He kept knocking on the door with his hand, as if determined to break the iron door down. "I don't understand. Liam and I are clearly over. So why is he still coming to harass me? Are you trying to vent your anger and take the chance to humiliate me?" I waited in fear and trepidation for 3 minutes. Then voices could be heard outside the door. I leaned closer to the monitor to eavesdrop. Donald smiled and said, "Sir, please don't disturb the peace. There's a pregnant woman living inside." Donald is Justin's colleague. My phone kept buzzing with messages. Justin sent me a lot of comforting words. I smiled and was about to reply when I heard Liam question Donald, "Are you Rachel's husband?" Donald smiled apologetically and was about to explain, but was punched by Liam. I immediately rushed out the door and confronted Liam, saying, "Liam, how could you hit someone?" Liam sneered, finally came out, "Ha, so this is the guy you found. He's not good looking and has no future." Liam looked me up and down, dressed so shabbily. "Do you regret breaking up with me?" I held back my anger again and again before finally saying, "It's over between us. Please leave now, and apologize to him as well." Donald quickly said, "No need." Liam heard Donald's words, and his expression twisted for a moment. "Rachel, it seems you only deserve to be with lowlifes," I said expressionlessly. "Liam, I was wrong before." Liam's expression softened slightly. and a hint of mockery appeared on his face. "You're not just cheap, you're disgusting, rotten from the inside out. I've never regretted breaking up with you, only that I ever got together with you in the first place." Liam's face grew increasingly grim. Donald quickly stepped in front of me. Afraid I might get hurt, Liam tensed up all over, as if about to explode with anger. I caught the smell of alcohol on Liam and instantly realized he had been drinking. Liam stared fixedly at Donald, his presence imposing. "Move aside. I knew her long before you came along, Donald." Donald hesitated for a moment, then slowly stepped aside. I raised my hand and swiftly slapped Liam. Liam's face was knocked to the side, and he said in disbelief, "You hit me. This slap is for Donald." I said calmly, "I called the police." As soon as the words left my mouth, the police swarmed in. I pointed at Liam and loudly accused, "Officer, he's disturbing the peace, assaulting people, and drunk driving." I pressed the emergency contact on my phone the moment Liam hit Donald. My emergency contact isn't anyone else, only the deputy squad leader at the police station nearest to me. The deputy squad leader knows Justin. They were high school classmates. I don't usually call the police. I only do so when something happens. Liam visibly became flustered. "She's talking nonsense," the deputy team leader said with a cold expression. "Let's go to the police station first." He turned to the auxiliary police officer beside him and said, "Call the traffic police brigade next door. Someone's driving under the influence." Liam struggled. "What are you doing? Do you know I'm the young master of the Anderson family?" the deputy team leader said indifferently. "Anderson family head coming won't help either. No one is allowed to drink and drive." After Liam was taken away, the tension I was holding finally eased. The deputy team leader asked me, "Ms. Rachel, are you okay? Are you feeling unwell anywhere? Don't tell Justin. Just say Donald has already taken care of it." The deputy squad leader was very easy to talk to, but I'm not sure if he took my words to heart. After exchanging a few pleasantries with me, he left. Donald also left after helping me move some plants. Only then did I have time to reply to Justin's message. By the end of the message, Justin was almost going crazy with worry. Helplessly, I made a call to Justin. "It's fine, he might have come here seeking attention. He's already been chased away by Donald." "Alright, I'll be home tonight." Justin's tone was cold, but even so, I could sense a hint of urgency in it. I paused for a moment. "So early, won't your boss say anything?" "No. I've already taken time off." I tried to persuade him a few times, but when I realized I couldn't change Justin's mind, I gave up. "Don't stay up too late tonight. Take care of yourself. The housekeeper will come to cook." I nodded. "Okay, honey, I miss you so much." Justin chuckled softly. "Got it, hubby misses wifey too." After hanging up, that sudden unease from running into Liam completely faded away. I returned to the study to work on my report. I had an unexpected pregnancy. And now in the third trimester, I had to take a leave of absence from school and stay at home. Fortunately, my advisor is very easy to talk to. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was terrified, and I initially thought about having an abortion, but Justin accompanied me to the hospital entrance. And I changed my mind. I have no parents, so having a blood-related family member is actually quite nice. Justin respected my decisions throughout the entire process, and when I changed my mind, he did his best to accommodate all my requests. I wanted a fully equipped study room, and in less than half a day, Justin found me such a place. The decor was exactly to my taste, with a large floor-to-ceiling window. The impression he gave me was completely the opposite of Liam. Justin has always made me feel secure, simple, and happy. Within just an hour, Liam trended on social media for having his driver's license revoked due to drunk driving. Nina kept crying on social media, insisting that Liam didn't do it on purpose. Yesterday, I had a fight with Liam brother, and it's all my fault. Otherwise, Liam brother wouldn't have drowned his sorrows in alcohol. If you want to blame someone, blame me, please. As soon as these words were spoken, their CP fans immediately filled in many details in their minds, all envious of their love. When I saw it, I chuckled softly. What kind of love do they even have? If drunk driving hits someone, I wonder if they'd still be envious. In the evening, Justin still came back. I lay in bed, drowsy and half asleep, vaguely aware that he kissed me. I snapped awake instantly, Justin looking guilty. "Did I wake you?" I shook my head and immediately hugged him. "I missed you so much. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left you at home. Actually, Justin and I have only been apart for 2 days." Hearing him say that, I suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. At that moment, Justin suddenly called. A barely noticeable disgust flashed in his eyes as he decisively hung up, but the other party persistently called back. I thought it was about work and persuaded him. "You should answer it." After the call, Come back to bed with me right away. Justin smiled and patted my head. Then turned and walked into the balcony. I don't know what came over me, but I followed him. Justin never kept his guard up around me, and I immediately heard Liam's voice. It came from Justin's phone. Uncle, you have to help me. My dad will kill me. My heart skipped a beat, and I immediately crouched down to eavesdrop. Justin said flatly, I can't help you. Whether you live or die has nothing to do with me. Justin froze, clearly not expecting Justin to stand by and do nothing. Uncle, I really know I was wrong. You know my family situation. My dad has an illegitimate child, and has never been satisfied with me anyway. Justin said in a low voice. Liam, some things are the consequences of your own actions. You deserve this. Justin seemed to sense something. He glanced back in my direction, and I immediately hid behind the corner in fright. After a few seconds, Justin turned and said something to Liam in a very soft voice, which I couldn't quite make out. I turned and walked away, quickly curling up under the covers, my mind in turmoil. I had heard Liam mention before that he had a younger uncle, the fourth in the family. Could it be Justin? But Justin never told me about his family. I sat up excitedly from the bed, my hand instinctively touching my swollen belly. What an incredible coincidence under the heavens. The door was gently pushed open, and Justin, seeing me like this, looked surprised. Rachel, what's wrong with you? I looked up at him. I'm giving you a chance to confess to me. Justin visibly tensed up, forcing a smile. Rachel, I didn't mean to. That piggy bank, I accidentally bumped into it, and it fell and broke, but I've already bought you a new one. My expression changed. And what else? I didn't expect there would be an unexpected delight, Justin said calmly. I didn't know you used to be Liam's girlfriend. I wouldn't care if he lives or dies. But why didn't you tell me he ended up in the police station? If I had said it, Justin would definitely guess that I had a conflict with Liam, and he would deduct Donald's salary. I pouted. Are you a nagging monster? Justin stepped forward and touched my face. I won't dock Donald's salary. I'm just worried about you. My parents died years ago, and I don't get along with my siblings, so I didn't take you home, afraid you'd find it unpleasant. Justin sat by the bed, massaging my sore calves. Can we just live our little life, after all? We're already married. Justin said this with a very cautious tone. You don't think I still have feelings for Liam, do you? I looked at him closely, and sure enough, Justin wore a pitiful and wronged expression. I found that the Anderson family is quite good at playing the victim. At the time, I knew you were Liam's ex-girlfriend. You have no idea how panicked I was. I told the truth. I didn't notice. Justin forced a laugh. Let's go to sleep first, baby. You're just good at changing the subject. Actually, both he and I know that I never blamed Justin. He never lied to me. He just didn't say anything. Justin turned off the light and was about to hug me when I suddenly came to my senses and slapped his arm. Go sleep in the guest room. You're the head of the Anderson family. Why didn't you tell me? What worry about him being scolded by the boss? What worry about him working too hard? It's all fucking fake. Justin is the boss himself. Justin was panicking like hell, acting cute and trying to smooth things over, but I remained unmoved. Go out and sleep. I'm tired now, Justin said pitifully. I'm sorry, honey. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Justin nervously tucked me in and said before leaving, be sure to call me if you need anything. Don't be angry. It's bad for your health. If you don't leave now, I'll really get angry. Justin hurriedly left. I had a good night's sleep, and the baby in my belly was very well behaved. Not causing me any trouble. I had just gotten up when the door was pushed open. Justin came in with food. Eat at home, or go out. Lately, I've been craving food a lot, especially spicy hot pot and barbecue. Justin wasn't sure what I wanted to eat, so he made breakfast first. Let's eat at home. Justin helped me brush my teeth and cautiously asked, you're not mad at me anymore, right? I rolled my eyes. You're barely even human. Justin played along. Not a person. I'm your little darling. God knows Justin how he managed to say that in such a cutesy voice while keeping a straight face. I held back and held back, but in the end, I laughed. After the meal, Justin suggested to me that he planned for me to rest at the hospital during my pregnancy. Why, isn't it better to be at home? The due date is still over a month away, and I'm worried. It would be great to have someone to take care of you, and I'll stay at the hospital with you too. I was persuaded and moved in with my bags that very day. Contrary to what I had imagined, Justin found me a private hospital that only caters to the wealthy. I silently cursed in my heart, what a wicked capitalist. Justin finished applying the essential oil to my belly and then went next door to work. The nurse accompanied me outside for a walk, but unexpectedly ran into Nina. Nina looked at me with a surprised expression. Rachel, is this a place you should be? You're not going around pretending to be Liam, are you? The caregiver quickly spoke up. MS, Nina, MS, Rachel is our honored guest. Nina said disdainfully, her, a gold-digging down-and-out woman. I really wanted to curse, but afraid of bringing bad karma to my child, I forced myself to change my words. Nina, don't come here just to seek attention. I wanted to ask you back then, how did you get pregnant so quickly? After leaving Liam brother, you didn't latch onto some rich old man, did you? I instinctively thought of Justin's face and age. He is indeed about 5 years older than me, but not old by any means. I know what kind of person your mother is, so you see everyone that way. Nina's biological mother was the other woman who broke up a marriage to take her place. This is an open secret. In an ordinary family, this would absolutely be scorned, but it just so happened in the wealthy Lee family, hitting Nina's sore spot. Her expression indeed changed. She rushed forward to claw and hit me, but several nurses nearby immediately rushed over and restrained Nina. I stood in place, watching the scene with cold eyes. Nina cursed loudly. Bitch, let go of me. Don't you know who I am? I sneered inwardly. We're all human. No one is nobler than anyone else. Liam hurried over and scolded loudly. What are you doing? Don't you know Nina is pregnant? The nurses looked flustered and immediately let go. Nina seized the chance to run over and try to push me, but Liam grabbed her by the arm. Nina, what are you doing? Nina wore an expression of disbelief. Liam, can't you see? She's bullying me. Liam looked somewhat impatient. Nina, she's still heavily pregnant. Nina raised her voice. I'm carrying your child in my belly too. I didn't want to watch their argument and turned to leave, but was stopped by Liam. Rachel, our matter isn't settled yet. I looked at him with 1,000 unspoken words. I remember we broke up back then. Liam pointed at Nina instead, apologized to her. Why should I? Liam glanced at me disdainfully. Why else? Because I outrank you and I'm richer than you. It was then that I realized Liam seemed to really mind that I thought he was poor. Oh, I don't think so. Liam never had a pleasant expression on his face. Rachel, do you think I'm joking with you? If you just kneel down and apologize to Nina, I can forgive you. I touched my stomach, feeling extremely irritated inside. Does he insist that I move out Justin? Nina said with a smug look. Oh, Liam brother. Don't blame her. Someone like her deserves to be lowly for life. I still have a baby in my belly. Liam placed his hand on Nina's belly and boasted. You're only fit to carry the children of lowly people, not mine. I'm absolutely furious. You can talk about me, but don't you dare talk about my child. Give you an inch, and you'll take a mile. Who the hell do you think you are, daring to talk about my child? Let me tell you straight, I knew from the moment we broke up that you were from the Anderson family, and I despise being lied to more than anything. Do you think you're the Emperor's favorite? Really believing that everyone must have you? I'm already married with children. Can you stop trying to get my attention? You're really disgusting, utterly disgusting. Liam's expression changed repeatedly. Rachel, I know you're just putting on a tough front, and I don't blame you. If anyone's to blame, it's you for being blind. Yes, I was indeed blind. Even if you weren't from the Anderson family, I should have broken up with you the moment you secretly took out loans behind my back. You think you're worthy of being liked? You'll never receive genuine affection in your entire life. Liam's anger kept boiling over. Even so, he still thought I was just putting on a brave face and regretting leaving someone as dazzling as him. Liam, why does he think that through deception and testing, he can get a good lover? Nina snorted and laughed. Rachel, why are you still being so stubborn? Liam likes me now. Someone like you doesn't deserve true feelings. What are you all talking about? Justin walked over holding an ice cream. Some time ago, I wanted to eat ice cream. Justin was worried about my and the baby's health, so he didn't let me have it. Now he probably softened up again. Uncle, what are you doing here? Liam asked in a surprised tone. Justin walked over to me on his own, placed the ice cream in my palm. Don't be greedy, just a few bites. Liam, upon seeing this, his expression tightened for a moment. Uncle, do you know this woman? Justin put his arm around my shoulder and said naturally, she's your aunt. The air instantly froze, but I acted as if I didn't notice and lowered my head to eat my ice cream. It's very cool and delicious, and I even thought about taking the chance to eat a few more bites, but it was still noticed by Justin. Be careful, you'll get a stomachache. I thought about it, took another bite, and decided not to eat any more. If you catch a cold, it really won't be pleasant. Justin brought the ice cream over, and Liam took a long time to find his voice again. Uncle, what kind of joke are you making? Do you know she's your ex-girlfriend? Justin looked down at him. When have I ever joked? I'm already married to her. Liam visibly panicked, his eyes instantly reddening. Impossible. How could you possibly like a woman like that? If it were true, then his plea for help from Justin at the police station would seem utterly ridiculous. Liam, watch your language. Justin warned in a low voice. Liam's temper flared like never before. He was furious. I don't agree with you two being together. Nina looked flustered and unwillingly glanced at Liam. Liam, let's leave first. She pulled Liam and hurriedly tried to mediate, afraid he might speak carelessly and offend Justin. Nina never expected that Rachel could actually latch onto Justin. Liam pushed Nina, and she nearly fell to the ground. Get lost, he stubbornly questioned me. Rachel, tell me. It's fake, right? How could he possibly be interested in you? We're real. I found it strange, just how unworthy did Liam think I was? Just in terms of looks, I'm quite attractive. In terms of academic achievements, I got into a prestigious university and passed the graduate entrance exam on my first try. Is it just because of my family background? I don't think I'll necessarily be poor in the future. 2 years ago, I thought 100,000 yuan was an astronomical figure, but now it's not. During my first year of graduate school, I already had my own patent, and it was very profitable. So it's not that I'm incapable, I know I'm excellent. No matter how much Liam puts me down or looks down on me, I won't feel inferior. Liam tensed up and insisted stubbornly. I don't agree with you two being together. Justin, his face instantly darkened. Liam, don't be so insolent. Liam, summoning his courage, he said loudly. Justin, I was with her long before you came into the picture. She never looked down on me for being poor. She even paid off my debts and supported me financially. Has she ever done any of that for you? Justin scoffed lightly. So she suffered so much with you, and you have the nerve to live off her. No wonder your father still looks down on you. Liam instantly flushed with anger. Shut up. What do you know? Love under the guise of testing is nothing but hurt. Liam never loved me. The one he truly loves is always himself. I tugged at Justin's sleeve and whispered, I'm tired. Justin picked me up and carried me away. Liam shouted from behind, Rachel, come back. Didn't you love me? I don't mind that you're carrying someone else's child. Holding on to Justin's neck, I looked at him with mixed feelings. Liam, what on earth is he going crazy about? He didn't notice the pale-faced Nina. Justin whispered, don't worry about him, I'll handle it. Justin's method was simple and brutal. He fired Liam from his position. He took away what mattered most to him, leaving him without even the means to resist. Justin, although he is the head of the family, he does not hold absolute power. His older brothers and sisters above him each have their own responsibilities. Additionally, Liam's father has long been dissatisfied with Liam, the son left by his first wife, believing his professional skills are questionable. If it weren't for the positive public image that he and Nina bring to the Anderson family, he would have kicked him out long ago. So Justin made it look easy. Really didn't leave any face for Liam. Liam was completely panicked and contacted Justin significantly more often. Justin ignored all of it, focusing on accompanying and taking care of me. In the late stages of pregnancy, my feet were always sore, and Justin often put aside work to massage them for me. My marriage to Justin was eventually discovered by the Anderson family. Liam's father and stepmother came to see me. Mrs. Anderson spoke very gently, every word hitting right at the heart. Although her rise to the position wasn't honorable, she really knows how to handle people. I immediately realized the Anderson family was anything but ordinary, and it had nothing to do with morality. It's like comparing Liam to the heavens and the earth. Liam actually dared to provoke Justin so arrogantly. The Anderson family came and went, leaving behind many tonics and gifts. Justin said, someone, take all these away, don't let my wife use them. I looked at him puzzled. Justin explained, it's not safe. He had never trusted these relatives since he was a child. I didn't say much and changed the subject. As my due date approaches, I feel increasingly uncomfortable. To the point where I can't even concentrate on reading, perhaps because I didn't suffer much earlier. The delayed hardship has now arrived. What comforts me is that I haven't developed any stretch marks on my stomach. I even started to wonder if my mother felt the same way when she gave birth to me. Even though Justin was very attentive to me, Liam still found a loophole. I was very surprised when I saw him. Liam had chapped lips and looked at me with longing. Then he strode over and hugged me tightly. Rachel, I regret it. I really regret it. Will you leave with me? Liam cried, tears rolling down the back of my neck. But I was so disgusted that my scalp tingled. I don't mind that you have a child with Justin. Let's call it even. Okay, Liam pleaded desperately. While I struggled frantically, Liam reached out to cover my mouth, pleading, keep your voice down. I won't hurt you. I'll treat your child as my own from now on. You should forgive me. It's my fault for not understanding love. I've seen too many people deliberately get close to me for money, so I thought you were the same. I raised my hand and slapped him hard. Get out, don't forget, you were the one who pursued me. What does he mean by me deliberately getting close to him? Liam, is he out of his mind? Liam was stunned for a moment, then quickly corrected himself. It was Nina's suggestion. She was worried I might be deceived by a gold digger. So she came up with this plan to test you. Actually, I had intended to confess to you that day, but instead, I ended up hearing you say you wanted to break up with me. Liam kept on talking. Everyone else is wrong, not him. I laughed. Liam, you're even more despicable than I imagined. Liam's face turned as pale as paper, and he murmured, I've never forgotten you all these years. I just wanted to make you regret it. But he never expected to lose the most important thing, the very foundation that allowed him to establish himself in the Anderson family. He and Nina made such a big fuss just to make me see. He saw that I was pregnant with someone else's child, and it broke his heart. Even so, he didn't mind that I had someone else's child. Liam, you're so confident. What makes you think I'd still like you? Will you forgive me? I'm begging you. I can't live without you. I have nothing now. Can we start over? Nina drew a clear line with him because of the dismissal, even going as far as aborting the child in her womb. What she liked was never him, but Liam's status, which could help build her up. Liam now finally understands who is good to him. No one can accept him when he has nothing. You're insane. I find it hard to understand Liam's mindset. I could understand him before. He might have been trying to vent his anger, but now I just think he's out of his mind. Before I could even wait for Liam to speak, I saw Justin rush over. He kicked him in the abdomen, grabbed him by the collar, slammed him against the wall, and threw a punch. Justin was truly furious. He has always been reserved in temperament and only acts sweet and eager to please in front of me. I've never seen him this angry before. I never thought about stopping him. Once Justin had fought enough, his anger would subside. Suddenly, my stomach started to hurt, my mind went blank, and I shouted, Justin, my stomach hurts. Then a lot of fluid flowed out from between my legs. The water broke. Justin panicked instantly. He let go of Liam, picked me up without a second thought, and shouted loudly, Doctor, doctor, come quickly, my wife is going into labor. Liam followed in a panic, but Justin had no time to deal with him. Rachel, it's going to be okay, don't be afraid. I heard Liam's words and almost thought I misheard. Liam's eyes showed concern and fear. I felt extremely bitter inside. Where was this concern earlier? Justin reached out to touch my face, continuously comforting me. It's okay, the doctor is highly skilled, you'll definitely be fine. Of course I knew I would be fine. Justin and I had always done our homework well. Justin came in to accompany me during labor, and Liam wanted to follow, but was stopped by the doctor outside. He stood there with a bitter smile. I didn't expect it to go so smoothly. More than ever before, it was a natural birth, and she came out in less than an hour. It's a daughter, and she weighs just under 6 pounds. The name was chosen long ago. Justin said since I gave birth, she should take my last name. The given name is Maxine. Justin breathed a complete sigh of relief. It seems that controlling his weight was effective. Justin held his little daughter, crying and laughing. Completely abandoning all his aloofness, I touched my daughter's tiny fist. Never expecting I could be so amazing, I actually gave birth to a child connected to me by blood. I didn't see Liam until I could walk on my own. I even forgot this person existed. Justin brought it up himself. Liam was sent abroad. He won't bother you anymore. I spoke up to explain. He didn't hurt the child that day. Justin nodded, lowering his head until our foreheads touched, his eyes filled with lingering fear. Do you have any idea how scared I was? What if Rachel had been hurt? What if she had really been harmed by Liam? What would he have done? He always assumes the worst of others with the greatest malice, even his own flesh and blood. In Justin's world, there are only his wife and daughter, and then everyone else. I laughed. Oh, it's nothing. I'm just at my due date. After I gave birth, Justin checked all the surveillance footage and even fired some of the staff. He was terrified that if he had arrived a moment later, the consequences would have been unimaginable. I had never seen Justin like this before, even long after. This lingering fear remained buried in Justin's heart. Justin, do you remember the first time we met? Justin laughed. I remember. You almost blew up the lab, and my classmate nearly cried from fright. I wasn't a chemistry major. I went into the lab with a classmate to broaden my horizons. And they taught me how to do a small experiment, but I ended up adding the wrong ingredients. Justin's classmate, who was also my classmate's advisor, saw it and immediately rushed in, stumbling and scrambling. I was also scared afterward, and I never set foot in a chemistry lab again after that. If it had really exploded, the entire building would have been gone. I said, you calmly reassured me back then that it was an accident. So this time it's an accident too, Justin said helplessly. It's different. You're the most important person to me. My heart softened, and I ruffled Justin's head. Alright, it's all in the past now. I comforted Justin for a long time before he finally calmed down. It's so boring at the postpartum center. I'm practically growing mold from idleness. Justin won't let me do this or that, as if I were a fragile object. Before and after giving birth, there's no difference in me. Many people can't see any change. A year later, I finally graduated. At the graduation ceremony, I received an anonymous bouquet of roses. Justin saw it and his face instantly darkened. I smiled, casually left them by the roadside, and attached a note. Sorry, I can't accept the flowers. Justin held the child in one arm and held my hand with the other, but didn't notice Liam behind him. He bent down to pick up the flowers, looking at us with a lonely expression. Even if he had noticed, I would have pretended not to see. I never dwell on the past. And I don't forgive easily. A mistake is a mistake. No excuses. The end. Story 2. After regaining my sight, I immediately ran to find my husband Larry, wanting to share this incredible news with him. But just outside the private room, I overheard Larry chatting with his friend. Larry, Stephanie has been blind for 2 years. To be with your white moonlight, you had Marlon impersonate you and live with Stephanie for 2 years. Aren't you afraid that one day he and Stephanie might fake it till they make it? Afraid of what? Larry took a sip of wine and laughed recklessly. Marlon has incredible self-control. There was once a beautiful woman standing naked in front of him, and he remained completely unmoved. How could he possibly lay a hand on your Stephanie? Besides, you Stephanie are also frigid. As long as Marlon doesn't initiate anything, she would never have thoughts in that regard. Everyone teased after hearing this. For a moment, I don't know whether to feel sorry for Stephanie or for Marlon. 2 stunning people sleeping under the same blanket yet doing nothing. Just chatting every day, thinking about it feels such a waste. Haha. Laughter rose and fell in waves. I glanced at Marlon drinking by himself in the center of the private room, aloof and noble, distant and detached. It's truly a pity to let such an exceptional man go untouched. Looking back now, I should have noticed some clues earlier. During these 2 years of my blindness, Larry has grown much colder toward me, speaking less than before, carrying an air of detachment in everything. Because of my blindness, even if I had opinions in my heart, I was too self-conscious to speak up, lost in thought. I heard the click of the door opening at home. From behind came Marlon's deliberately lowered voice. Stephanie, I'm back. Marlon and Larry's voices were already similar. And Marlon deliberately imitated Larry's voice. No wonder I hadn't recognized it for 2 years. I lifted my gaze, my bewildered eyes inadvertently falling upon the handsome man before me, the famously ascetic heartthrob of the capital's elite circle. He was never one to be bound by constraints. I couldn't figure out why he was willing to cooperate with Larry and put on this act with me for 2 years, but since they love to act, I'll play along with them to the very end. I pretended not to see. Groped my way to Marlon, and took the initiative to wrap my arms around his waist. Honey, you're finally home. I held his waist tightly, not forgetting to give his firm abs a quick feel. For the past 2 years, Marlon has always been self-disciplined and proper. Even when sharing the same bed, he deliberately kept his distance and had never been this intimate with me. Seemingly surprised by my enthusiasm, he froze for a moment, his voice tightening slightly. Stephanie, what's wrong with you today? I squeezed out a few tears and asked him with feigned grievance. Larry, ever since I lost my sight, you haven't touched me anymore. Do you dislike me now? Marlon paused, his expression faltering, and lowered his voice to comfort me. No, you're overthinking it. You injured both your eyes and your body in the car accident 2 years ago. I'm just worried you can't handle it. My body has recovered. I can handle it. I fumbled, reaching out to unbutton his shirt. My hand brushing against his firm chest muscles. Honey, it's been 2 years. You must have been holding back quite a bit, right? Marlon his Adam's apple bobbed, his voice slightly hoarse. Yeah, it's been manageable. I blew a soft breath on his Adam's apple. How about we? Before he could finish, his phone rang. I need to take this call. Marlon let out a sigh of relief and took his phone to the balcony. I hid by the window and heard Larry's lazy voice through the speaker. Marlon, the old man's birthday is tomorrow. Let's swap shifts for the day. Marlon paused for 2 seconds. Okay, it's been months since we last switched shifts. Tell me what's been going on with you and Stephanie lately, so I don't blow our cover later. On the phone, the teasing voices of Larry's brothers could be heard. Larry, you're busy dating your white moonlight while also juggling Stephanie. Who really matters more to you? Larry sneered defiantly. How can you, Stephanie, compare to Vivian? You, Stephanie, have been clinging to me all these years. I couldn't even shake you off. Vivian is someone I worked hard to win over. If it weren't for Grandpa liking you, Stephanie, I never would have married her in the first place. I stood frozen, listening to his words. My heart filled with bitter self-mockery. Yes, I clung to Larry for many years. From the age of 16 to 26, I relentlessly chased after him for a full decade. I finally got my wish and married him. But the one who shares my bed every night is actually his best friend. For the past 2 years, I've been living like the biggest joke. That night, I took the initiative and slept holding Marlon all night. I clearly felt that Marlon's body was stiff all night. When I woke up the next day, Marlon was already gone. I saw Larry dressed formally by the bedside, smiling as he said, "Awake, hurry up and freshen up. Come with me to the old master's birthday banquet." I lazily stretched and deliberately cooed, "Honey, you were poking me all night last night. My waist is so sore, Tilda." Larry, his smile instantly froze, and his expression turned extremely grim. On the way to take me home, he remained silent the entire time, his face clouded over as if covered in a layer of frost. When we entered the hall, he still pretended to be affectionate and held my hand, forcing a smile as he greeted the old man. "Grandpa, may your happiness be as vast as the eastern sea, and your longevity as enduring as the southern mountains." The old man was very happy to see me and chatted with me for a long time about everyday matters. At the birthday banquet, many people of all kinds came. I not only saw Marlon, with whom I had slept the night before, but also Larry's white moonlight. Vivian's gaze provocatively fell on me, full of disdain and sarcasm. I pretended not to see anything and ignored her directly. Halfway through the banquet, I went to the restroom. As I stepped out of the restroom, I saw Vivian walking straight toward me. At the moment we brushed past each other. With a splash, Vivian poured the entire glass of red wine over my head. "Oh dear, I'm so sorry. My hand just slipped a moment ago." I calmly picked up the mop by the bathroom door, raised it, and swung it hard at her face. "Ah!" Vivian screamed in despair. "Stephanie, what are you doing?" I pretended to apologize belatedly. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't see with my eyes. I just wanted to use the mop as a cane." "Did it hit you?" Vivian, covered in filth, was so angry that she raised her hand to slap me. I swung the mop toward her face once again. "Stop!" Two voices shouted simultaneously from behind. Larry and Marlon strode over with grim expressions, followed by several servants. Vivian rushed into Larry's arms with tear-streaked cheeks, sobbing as she complained, "Larry, your wife just hit me with a mop. You have to stand up for me." "Stephanie, apologize." Larry's voice was icy cold. Groping around, I stumbled and threw myself into Marlon's arms. "Honey, I'm sorry, I just can't see. I didn't mean to. Please don't be mad at me." "Okay." Larry stood by, glaring at me with a livid face, his expression at its worst. Marlon patted my back and said in a lowered voice, "I'm not angry, you don't need to blame yourself." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw that Larry's face was so dark it seemed to drip with ink. A flicker of satisfaction crossed my mind. I deliberately leaned against Marlon's chest, sniffled, and said, "Honey, I'm soaked all over and feel awful. Could you help me take a bath? Maybe even give me a back rub?" Marlon's hand, which had been patting my back, stiffened slightly. His tone was a bit stiff as he replied, "It's not impossible, Annie." Larry interrupted sharply, a flash of displeasure and anger crossing his brow. "Take the lady to bathe and change." After changing clothes, I unexpectedly ran into Larry and Marlon chatting in the hallway. Larry looked displeased and questioned sharply, Marlon, haven't you always been uninterested in romantic affairs? Why did you react to Stephanie?" Marlon lit a cigarette, paused for a moment, and said, "I'm human, not a god. No matter how detached I am. If a well-built woman keeps throwing herself into my arms, I'll react." Larry seemed unable to believe it, his face extremely grim. "But Stephanie is clearly a cold person too. How could she?" "Marlon, you have to promise me, no matter how great the temptation, you absolutely cannot touch Stephanie. No matter how much she plays around, she's still my wife. You still remember she's your wife." Marlon casually blew a smoke ring, his expression sarcastic. "For the past 2 years. You've been busy romancing your white moonlight. Have you cared about your wife for even a single day?" Larry fell silent. Marlon scoffed, "Since you like Vivian so much, why not just divorce Stephanie?" "I can't divorce her," Larry reacted vehemently. "Stephanie and I grew up together since childhood. I still have feelings for her, but I've pursued Vivian for so many years, and she finally accepted me. I don't want to let go either." "Ha!" Marlon stubbed out his cigarette and scoffed disdainfully. "What a scumbag." I didn't listen any further and turned to leave. "Larry, You neither want to give up your white moonlight nor abandon your lawful wife, but in this world, how could such a good thing exist? The banquet ended, Larry drove me home. As we were about to arrive, I saw Marlon waiting at the doorstep. After handing me over to Marlon, Larry left without any hesitation. Once home, I went straight to the bathroom. A few minutes later, I shouted from the bathroom, "Honey, I just slipped and hurt my shoulder. Can you come in and help me apply some ointment?" Soon after, the bathroom door clicked open. Marlon walked in holding a tube of ointment. I was loosely wrapped in a towel, my hair half damp, with water still dripping from my skin. Marlon stared at me blankly for 2 seconds, then hurriedly averted his gaze, pretending to focus on squeezing the ointment in his hand. I pretended to slip and thumped right into his arms. The bath towel slid down to my feet with a rustle, 2 scorching bodies pressed together. Marlon blushed at the tips of his ears, awkwardly trying to push me away. "Stephanie, you," I directly sealed his lips with mine. Marlon stiffened for a moment, then gave up struggling, pressing my head to return a passionate kiss. Between gasps, I reached to unbuckle his belt, my tone suggestive. "Husband, we've been married for so long, it's about time we had a child." Marlon his Adam's apple bobbed repeatedly, his voice hoarse and strained. "All right, I'll do as you say." With that, he carried me into the bedroom, but just then, his phone rang. Marlon hung up the call directly. "Aren't you going to answer it?" Before the words could fully leave my lips, he swallowed them all. From afternoon until late into the night, Marlon was like a starved wolf that had just tasted blood, tirelessly demanding more. I was so exhausted that I fell asleep right away. In a daze, I heard Marlon answer a phone call in a hushed voice. "I understand. I won't touch her. Don't trust me." "Fine, forget it then. Swear an oath." I've never believed in superstition. After hanging up the phone, Marlon leaned close to my ear and whispered, "Stephanie, why is it only him that you like?" Actually, I wanted to tell him that I wouldn't like him anymore in the future, but I was too tired and drifted into a deep sleep. After getting a taste, Marlon became like a starving wolf that had savored something sweet, craving more every day, insatiable and never satisfied. For 2 whole months, he neglected his work and devoted himself entirely to me. Meanwhile, Larry reportedly accompanied his first love on a vacation abroad and hasn't been seen for 2 months. One day, feeling unwell, Marlon took me to the hospital. Unexpectedly, we ran into Larry and Vivian at the hospital entrance, who had just returned to the country. What a coincidence. Vivian greeted first, with a tone dripping with feigned innocence. "I've had a poor appetite lately and keep feeling nauseous. I wonder if I partied too hard abroad and got pregnant. What about you? What brings you to the hospital?" Marlon glanced at her coldly, his tone indifferent. "Stephanie isn't feeling well, so I brought her for a checkup." Larry remained silent, afraid of giving anything away, but his eyes were fixed intently on the red marks on my neck, his expression frighteningly cold. I pretended not to notice anything and calmly walked past the 2 of them. At the moment they brushed past each other, Vivian suddenly let out a cry of "ah," and stumbled shakily into the nearby pool. Larry turned pale instantly and immediately jumped into the pool to pull her out. Vivian was soaked all over, crying uncontrollably. "Larry, it was your wife who pushed me in. I clearly haven't offended her, so why does she keep provoking me again and again?" Larry glared coldly and sternly scolded me. "Stephanie, apologize to Vivian. I just find it ridiculous. He always does this, condemning me without even asking for the reason." "But why should I apologize for something I didn't do?" Larry's eyes turned sinister, his voice cold as ice. "If it wasn't you, then who? Vivian just walked past you. Would she have jumped on her own? Are you blind, or just heartless? All these years, no matter how wholeheartedly I treated him, he always put Vivian first in his heart." I sneered coldly. "I will never apologize. You have no say in this." Larry kicked me hard in the knee, forcing me to kneel on the ground with a thud. He pressed my head down, forcing me to kowtow and apologize to Vivian. "Let her go." Marlon rushed forward, pulling Larry's hand away, his eyes flashing with anger. "Don't touch her." Larry clenched his jaw, his face extremely grim. Amid the argument, I suddenly felt dizzy, as if all my strength had been drained, and I fell backward. Before I hit the ground, 2 exclamations rang out simultaneously. "Stephanie!" Marlon quickly caught my collapsing body, and Larry scooped me from his arms. "Stephanie, what's wrong? Stephanie, wake up." "I'm sorry, Stephanie. I shouldn't have been so harsh on you. Please wake up." Larry picked me up and rushed anxiously to the emergency room. At the emergency room entrance, Larry stared coldly at Marlon, his voice icy. "Marlon, explain to me, what are all those red marks on Stephanie's neck?" Marlon scoffed coldly. Shouldn't you be concerned about her health first at a time like this? Just then, the door to the emergency room swung open. The doctor removed his mask and stepped out. It's nothing serious. The patient just fainted due to extreme emotional stress from pregnancy. She'll wake up soon. What did you say? Larry looked as if struck by lightning, his face full of shock. Marlon was also stunned for a moment upon hearing this. A flicker of joy crossing his face. Larry looked at him in disbelief, his voice trembling slightly. This child is yours. Marlon admitted openly. Yes, bastard. Larry, eyes bloodshot, raised his fist and swung at Marlon. What did you tell me back then? You said you wouldn't touch her. You said you weren't interested in romantic relationships. You fucking lied to me. Marlon staggered back a few steps, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and sneered. Larry, you should know my personality. I'm not some kind-hearted good guy. If I weren't interested in Stephanie, why would I have agreed to cooperate with you and put on this act for so long, bastard? I treated you like a brother, and you actually had designs on my wife. Your mind is too filthy. Marlon scoffed with a face full of mockery. Larry, from the moment you pushed her into my arms, you should have expected this day would come. Larry was furious and raised his fist again at Marlon. The two soon tangled into a fierce fight, neither giving an inch, each blow landing harder than the last. Marlon quickly gained the upper hand, pinning Larry to the ground and beating him until he was bruised and swollen. Larry, I've wanted to beat you up for a long time. You have such a great wife but choose to chase after a green tea bitch. You're really pathetic. Thanks for leaving Stephanie to me. When the baby's full moon banquet comes, I'll save you a seat at the head table. When I woke up, two men with different expressions were standing by my bedside. Stephanie, you're awake. Larry stepped forward, grabbing my hand, and said excitedly, how are you feeling? Is there any discomfort? I gently pulled my hand away and spoke coldly. I'm fine. Larry paused for a moment, then said in a low voice, Stephanie, the doctor said you're pregnant, but there's a problem with the baby. I'll arrange an abortion for you now, okay, ha. A cold voice sounded in my ear, trying to kill my child. Do you think I'm dead? I sat up, deliberately frowning in confusion. Your voices sound so similar. Which one of you is really my husband? It's me. Both voices answered in unison. I threw off the covers and stood up, pretending to follow the sound, and threw myself into Marlon's arms. Honey, is there really something wrong with the baby in my belly? No problem, he's perfectly healthy. Marlon patted my back reassuringly. Larry widened his eyes in fury, erupting in anger. Stephanie, I'm here, I'm your husband. He's an imposter. I just found it noisy, frowning in disgust. Sir, although I can't see, I'm not deaf. How could I not recognize the voice of the husband I spend every day with? The one I'm holding right now is my husband. Marlon nodded in agreement. Right, don't listen to him. Larry panted heavily with rage, raising his fist again. Marlon, you bastard, keep pretending and see what happens. I'll fight you to the death. But before his fist could reach Marlon, he was kicked to the ground by Marlon. I issued a cold dismissal. Sir, please leave now. Do not disturb my rest. Larry still wanted to cause more trouble. Marlon directly called 2 security guards and had him thrown out. Larry after being driven away. The ward quieted down. I gently placed my hand on my lower abdomen, feeling a mix of complex emotions. Inside, a tiny heart was beating. I don't know if the decision to have this child was right. Marlon suddenly spoke, interrupting my train of thought. Stephanie, I know you can see. I froze and asked in surprise. When did you find out? Marlon paused for a moment and sat down by my bedside. From the day you suddenly became proactive toward me. Stephanie, we've lived together for 2 years. No matter how well you pretend, I could still tell through certain clues. Then why did you keep playing along with my act? Marlon remained silent for a long time. After a while, he laughed mockingly. I just treated it as a dream. As long as the dream doesn't end, I'm willing to keep living in it. I wanted to ask more. Marlon changed the subject. Stephanie, this child, what do you plan to? I froze. At first, I only wanted revenge against Larry, to use this child to turn the 2 brothers against each other, to make Larry regret it. But no matter what, the child is innocent. He exists vividly inside me. His unformed heart beating strongly in my womb. I cannot take his life. After a moment of contemplation, I looked into Marlon's eyes and said firmly, I want to keep this child. Marlon let out a sigh of relief. All right, thank you Stephanie. I will definitely take on the responsibilities I should bear. The next day, I was discharged from the hospital and returned home. Upon opening the door, I saw Larry sitting on the sofa with a gloomy expression, cigarette butts scattered all over the floor. Seeing me and Marlon enter, Larry stared coldly at Marlon, his tone dripping with sarcasm. Marlon, this is my home, the game is over. Please leave now. Marlon said nothing, just took my hand and asked gently, Stephanie, will you come with me? Okay, I nodded without hesitation. Marlon quickly packed a few things and took my hand to leave. Larry stepped forward to stop her. Stephanie, you can't leave, he said anxiously. Stephanie, you can't see it, you've been deceived by him. I am your husband Larry, he's an imposter, he's Marlon. Larry, I interrupted calmly, I can see, what did you say? I stared into his eyes, enunciating each word clearly. I said, I can see, Larry, my eyes have been healed for a long time. I also know that you had Marlon impersonate you and live with me for 2 years, and I'm fully aware of your affair with Vivian. Larry widened his eyes abruptly, his face instantly turning pale. I smiled sarcastically. Isn't it better for me to leave? You won't have to hide anymore, just bring Vivian home directly. After all, hasn't she been having a poor appetite lately because she got pregnant from having too much fun with you abroad? No, Larry panicked, grabbing my hand and anxiously explaining, Stephanie, Vivian is not pregnant, she just ate something wrong and has an upset stomach. You are my wife, how could I possibly get someone else pregnant? I didn't want to hear his explanations anymore. I brushed off his hand and resolutely followed Marlon away. I moved back to the house I owned before marriage. Marlon set aside most of his work and devoted himself to taking care of me at home during my pregnancy. He even signed up for a dad-to-be class and started learning how to take care of a child. We seemed to have an unspoken understanding, never mentioning whose surname the child should take after birth, who should be called dad, or whose household registration the child should be under. Life gradually settled into a calm, uneventful rhythm. But on this day, Marlon went out for an errand, and a group of burly men suddenly barged into the house. Without a word, they knocked me unconscious and roughly tied me up before throwing me into a car. When I woke up, I was already tightly bound on an operating table. The operating lamp cast a cold, harsh light. Larry appeared before me with a dark, menacing expression. Larry, what are you trying to do? My heart leaped in alarm. Larry's face was covered in a chilling frost, his voice icy cold. Stephanie, that bastard child in your belly cannot stay. Let go of me. I cried out in panic. Larry, you can't do this to me. This child is mine, you have no right to decide its fate. But you are my wife. Larry patted my shoulder, as if to comfort me. Stephanie, listen to me this once. This child cannot be kept, if it is born. It will bring shame to our entire family. The old man is so old, he absolutely cannot suffer this blow. Don't worry, I will break it off with Vivian. And you stop seeing Marlon as well. Let's go back to how we were before, as if this never happened. Okay, no, I struggled, shouting angrily, Larry, do you really think we can go back to how we were? It was you who cheated first, you who betrayed our marriage, you made a fool of me for 2 years. How can you just say it's all wiped clean? Larry completely ignored my rage, placing his hand gently on my lower abdomen and speaking coldly. Stephanie, as long as this bastard in your belly is gone, we can go back to how things were. Impossible, I screamed desperately. Larry, you beast, let me go. Stephanie, be good and stop making a scene. As he spoke, 2 men in white coats brought anesthetic syringes, preparing to inject them into my body. I struggled desperately, screaming with all my might. Larry, stop. Don't make me hate you, Stephanie. Even if you hate me, this bastard child must not be kept. The cold needle slowly pierced my skin, bringing a sharp sting. Larry covered my eyes with his hand. Stephanie, I'm sorry. Once this child is gone, we'll start over and live a good life together. Bastard, let go of me. I will never start over with you. In the midst of despair, the door of the operating room was suddenly slammed open with a loud bang. Marlon barged in with a large group of people. Larry, dare to lay a hand on her again. Marlon raged, raising his fist and swinging it viciously at Larry. You bastard, I told you not to touch Stephanie. Who are you to order me around? Larry threw a punch back at him, gritting his teeth and saying, Marlon, I am Stephanie's husband. You're just a homewrecker. Your child is a bastard who will never be accepted. What gives you the right to act so arrogantly in front of me? Whether they're accepted or not isn't for you to decide. The two quickly began to wrestle, and the surroundings immediately descended into chaos. Larry was ultimately no match for Marlon and was beaten to the ground, bruised and battered, with a bloody nose and head. Marlon immediately untied my ropes, pulled me into his embrace, and said in a trembling voice, Stephanie, are you okay? I'm fine. I shook my head, still trembling with fear. Marlon picked me up to leave. Larry spoke up to stop him. Stephanie, don't go. I looked at the barely alive Larry lying on the ground with disgust and said expressionlessly, "Larry, let's get a divorce." "Why, Lou?" Larry coughed painfully twice, still trying to keep me. "Stephanie, I was wrong. I'll break it off with Vivian. Won't you come back to me? You used to like me so much." Yes, I really did like him a lot before. We grew up together since childhood, like childhood sweethearts. From the moment I first fell in love, my whole world revolved around him. I persistently revolved around him for over a decade, giving him my all, thinking that one day I would finally win his heart. But only now do I realize that all these years of my persistence have been nothing but a joke. He simply isn't worth my affection. "I don't like you anymore." I turned my head away and replied coldly, "Larry, I won't like you anymore. Just consider my sincere feelings over the past 10+ years as having been wasted on a dog." After leaving the hospital, I filed for divorce in court. The news of my and Larry's divorce still reached Old Master Cornell's ears. The Old Master summoned both me and Larry to the old mansion. In the opulent hall, the Old Master looked stern and grave. "Stephanie, I heard your eyes have recovered. This should be a good thing. So why on earth are you divorcing Larry?" I paused for a moment and spoke truthfully. "Grandpa, I'm pregnant, and the child isn't Larry's." The old man's eyes tightened abruptly, his brows furrowing deeply. "Stephanie, you should know your limits even when you're upset. How could you joke about your own reputation? You and Larry grew up together since childhood, with deep feelings. How could you possibly betray him?" "I'm not joking." I calmly handed a few photos to the old man. "But Grandpa, the one who cheated first was Larry. He was fooling around with someone else for 2 years while I was blind, to make it easier for him to romance his mistress. He even had his brother impersonate him and live under the same roof with me for 2 years. This child came about because of that. Is that so?" The master trembled as he took the photos. Looking at the intimate pictures of Larry and Vivian in various settings, his nostrils flaring with anger, his chest heaving violently. "Bastard!" He raised his cane and struck Larry hard on the back. "You beast, how could you do such a wicked thing? Stephanie has loved you for so many years, devoted herself to you wholeheartedly. How could you have the heart to fool around with another woman?" Larry let the old man hit him, his eyes red as he choked back tears and said, "Grandpa, I was wrong. I was blinded and made a mistake. I will definitely change from now on. Please help me persuade Stephanie." "Okay, I don't want to divorce her. How dare you even open your mouth?" The old man slammed the table hard and scolded angrily. "You've done such a shameful thing to her, and still have the nerve to beg for forgiveness. If I were you, I'd be so ashamed I'd want to bury myself in the ground. Our Cornell family has no such shameless scoundrel like you. Today, I must beat you to death." To properly vent this anger for Stephanie, with that, the old man raised his cane again, striking Larry's back fiercely. Blow after blow, Larry's back was stained with dark red blood, yet he remained completely silent. That day, Larry was badly beaten by the old man, suffering a fractured left thigh and 2 broken ribs. Under the old man's firm stance, Larry was forced to sign the divorce agreement. As I was leaving, the old man, full of shame, apologized to me. "Stephanie, it's a disgrace to our family, and our Cornell family has wronged you. I've watched you grow up since you were a child, and I genuinely adore you. It's just a pity that my unworthy grandson is so disappointing. From now on, even if you can't be my granddaughter-in-law, you'll still be my god-granddaughter. Our bond won't be broken because of this. If you ever face any difficulties in life, you can always come back to me." This old man, for help. "All right." I knelt on the ground, respectfully kowtowing to the elderly man. "Grandfather, please take good care of yourself." On the day we went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the divorce certificate, Larry arrived in a wheelchair, pushed by his bodyguard. At the same time, he also brought Vivian along. 2 bodyguards forced Vivian to kneel before me, pressing her head down to make her kowtow and apologize. Vivian tears fell drop by drop as she sobbed. "I'm sorry, Miss Kai. I shouldn't have provoked you. Shouldn't have slandered you." Larry watched her kowtow repeatedly with a calm expression, his face devoid of the usual tenderness and affection, only filled with cold indifference. "Stephanie, I've checked the surveillance footage. At Grandpa's birthday banquet, she deliberately provoked you. And last time at the hospital, she fell into the pool herself. She slandered you. She owes you an apology." "Then what about you?" I found it ridiculous. "Larry, aren't you at fault too?" Larry froze for 2 seconds, then suddenly let out a self-mocking laugh. "Right, the one who should apologize to you the most is me." He suddenly raised his hand and slapped himself hard across the face. "Stephanie, I was wrong. I shouldn't have deceived you, shouldn't have betrayed your sincerity. I deserve this." As he continued hitting himself, he covered his face and choked up. "Stephanie, I regret it. I thought I couldn't let go of my first love. But it wasn't until you left that I realized, in my heart, you're more important than Vivian. I'm so pathetic, only realizing my regret after losing you. I sighed deeply. What's the use of regretting now, Larry? Let's part on good terms. I thought he would still cling to me, but he cooperated and went through the divorce procedures with me. At the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Larry had reddened eyes and asked me hoarsely, "Stephanie, I've already broken up with Vivian. Can we still be friends in the future?" I shook my head. Just as I was about to speak, a cold, deep voice sounded from behind me, "Marlon S. Just give up on that idea." Marlon walked over slowly, his face full of mockery. "Larry, don't grovel like a lovesick fool, it's pathetic. If you have that kind of determination, you'd be better off trying to win back your white moonlight. The mother of my child isn't falling for your act." Larry glared at Marlon, who had suddenly appeared, gritting his teeth in anger. "Marlon, you homewrecker, what are you so smug about?" Marlon pulled me over by the shoulder, meeting Larry's gaze with unflinching confidence, a gloating smile on his face. "By the way, your white moonlight just tried to kill herself in a fit of despair. She jumped from the 3rd floor of the mall. Now she's lying in the hospital, paralyzed from the waist down. Shouldn't you hurry over and comfort her?" Larry left, and Marlon released me, suddenly pulling a household register booklet from his suit pocket. Looking into my eyes, he said with all seriousness, "Stephanie, since we're already here, and there's no time like the present, how about making things official for the child's father?" I stared at the household register in my hand with amusement, not responding immediately. Marlon then took out a gleaming ring from his chest and knelt down on one knee. With a solemn expression, he spoke earnestly, "Stephanie, Larry was right, I'm despicable. A scoundrel. I've always coveted my friend's wife. Did you know that while you've loved Larry for over a decade, I've also been secretly in love with you for years? When Larry first brought you to meet our circle of rich young men at 20, I fell for you at first sight. But all these years, your eyes were only on Larry, never noticing my existence. You chased after Larry for so long, yet you always treated me like air. Every time I watch you fawn over Larry, I can do nothing but burn with jealousy. But luckily Larry is such a dumbass who can't get his act together, mistaking a green tea bitch for a treasure. Which gave me the perfect opportunity. Stephanie, will you marry me? I swear I will love and protect you for the rest of my life, and I will never betray you. I swear on my life that I will spoil you and our child, making you the happiest people in the world." Marlon's words completely stunned me. I never knew that this seemingly aloof and ascetic flower on the high peak within the circle had silently liked me for so many years. But all these years, I've been completely devoted to Larry, turning a blind eye to other men, completely unaware of his affection for me. Clearly, Marlon is better than Larry in every aspect, so how could I have been so foolishly fixated on Larry alone? Now that I think about it, I really was incredibly foolish. I paused, then smiled with pursed lips. "Since the rice is already cooked, even if I wanted to refuse you, the baby in my belly wouldn't agree. So, Marlon, I'm willing to marry you." Marlon was overjoyed and excitedly slipped the ring onto my finger. We seamlessly went straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our marriage certificate. On our wedding night, Marlon laid me on the bed and kissed every inch of my body almost reverently. "Stephanie, do you know, I've actually wanted to do this to you for so long. You have no idea how much I've held back these past 2 years." I wrapped my arms around his neck and kissed his Adam's apple. "From now on, you can do whatever you want. No need to hold back anymore." The end.